Hi. In this video, you're going to learn the basic steps to launch any marketing campaign. Now, you might have the best product or service, but if people don't know about it, you're going to be out of business very soon. So consider these steps when launching your marketing campaign. The first is to identify your target segment, or the people who have the most to gain from your product or service. The more niche this target segment is, the more clearly you're going to know how to effectively reach and communicate with them. The second step is to identify your value proposition, or articulate what differentiates you from other people and why your target segment should go out of their way to get your product or service. The third step is to have a call to action for your campaign recipients, and that can be a simple sign-up process or a test drive. Now, by following these three considerations and through today's online marketing channels, you can ensure that your campaign is effectively reaching the right people, and you can always tweak it for maximum performance.
Hi, today we're going to talk about one of the key marketing strategies in use today, inbound marketing. And we're going to give you 3 quick tips on how to succeed. What is inbound marketing? Well, inbound marketing is the art and science of turning strangers into customers. And how do we do that? We do that by producing content, distributing it online, and bringing your customers back to your presence and having a nurturing and building a relationship with them. So the first quick tip I'm going to give you is to define your target audience. Why do we want to define our target audience, and what does that actually mean? Well, defining your audience means understanding their pain points, understanding their needs, understanding their objectives, and having a clear plan to address those when the time comes. So, once you understand what your target audience looks like, once you understand what they need from you, you can clearly create a step-by-step map of how to turn them from strangers into customers. Key tip number 2 is to have a clear content strategy and distribution plan. So you know your target audience. Now you need to produce the content that's customized to your audience and have a plan, that your distribution plan to reach them. Where does your audience live? Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Twitter? Are they in your mailbox? You can reach them a whole number of different ways, and online really works well for that. The last key tip I'm going to give you is about nurturing and building your relationships. So you have your audience, you have your content and distribution plan. Now it's time to take people from strangers into customers through the buyer's journey. It's important to understand that not every customer is ready to buy. So how do we take people along that path? Well, we create content customized for people who are just exploring. You create customized content for people who are actively evaluating options, and you create customized content for people who are hot leads and ready to close. Now, most companies will focus on the hot leads, but if you do that, you're ignoring a whole huge segment of your audience who are potential future buyers. So, in summary, the key tips for inbound marketing are: define your target audience, have a clear content and distribution plan, and nurture and build those relationships. And don't give up on the people who need a helping hand. Thank you. So what is outbound marketing? Well, outbound marketing is what people traditionally think of when they hear of advertising. It's your radio ads, your TV ads, your print ads. Essentially a strategy of pushing out your message to as wide an audience as possible in an effort to persuade and communicate with them the benefits of your product or service. I'm going to give you now 3 quick tips on how to effectively run an outbound campaign. The first quick tip I'm going to give you is about really communicating your competitive benefits. A lot of ads try to be clever, but they fail in communicating the essential points required in advertising, and as such derive no value. So be sure to communicate 3 things in your ads. The first is what exactly it is you're offering. The second is why should your audience want it? And the third point is how should your audience act on it, and how should they take advantage of the offer? If you're selling something based on price, then include the prices in the advertising. If you're selling a service, then be sure to communicate the benefits that the user will get out of it. The second key tip for outbound marketing campaigns is to really grab and hold your audience's attention. Now, we're constantly bombarded by advertising messages, and our attention spans are shrinking every day. Whether it's a billboard or an email in my inbox, you as an advertiser have less than 3 seconds to grab my attention. And once you have my attention, you better know what to do with it. It's also a good idea before you run any ad, whether it's online, radio, or print, is to examine what's going on in the landscape. Look at your competitors, look at what they're advertising, and see what ads are offering similar products and services to yours, and how you can differentiate your messaging and your positioning in your advertising to really stick out and keep my attention. The third key tip is to really test and optimize your ads. Now, if you have the budget and money, running a focus group on your ads and getting other people's opinions is a great way to really understand whether your messages are getting across, whether the calls to action are working effectively, and whether your ad has the desired outcome. A cheaper and more, easier way to do it is the so what test. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. Go through your ad and think to yourself, so what? Why should I care? If you don't pass that test, if you don't have an answer to the so what question, your ad has failed, and you should probably go back and maybe tweak a few things and really make an impact. In summary, you want to highlight your competitive advantages and communicate these essential messages. You want to grab and hold of your audience's attention and never let go. And lastly, you really want to test and optimize your advertising to make sure that it's the best that it can be. It's important to continually learn about and improve your marketing initiatives. But before we can optimize our campaigns, we have to be able to measure and manage them. In this lesson, we're going to show you the 5 key marketing metrics you should be tracking. The first key metric is total visits. Your website should be the primary target to new or existing customers, but you can also measure total visits to any location relevant to your campaigns, such as landing pages or social media channels. Measuring your total number of visits will give you a big picture idea of how well your campaign is driving traffic. The second key metric is conversion rate. Whether it's email subscribers, ebook downloads, or a pure lead generation conversion, every campaign has a goal. Once we understand how many people have visited our page in question, we need to determine what percentage of them actually did what we wanted them to do in the first place. If your goal is a white paper download and you had 1,000 visitors to that page, and out of those 100 of them converted, like downloaded the ebook or filled out a form, then your conversion rate for that goal would be 10%. The third key metric is the cost per conversion. Using the previous example where 100 people out of 1,000 converted and completed your goal, it's important to understand how much you spent to get those 100 conversions. Let's say you spent a total of $500 on your campaign. Take the total amount you spent divided by the total number of conversions to get the cost per conversion for your campaign. The fourth key metric is cost of customer acquisition, or CAC for short. CAC is an extremely important and versatile metric which can be applied to both your online and offline activities. In the previous example, we looked at conversions, which would be any goal you want to achieve. CAC, however, focuses on customers and how much it costs us to acquire them. Let's say you spent $10,000 across all your marketing initiatives, from social media, content, SEM, SEO, and email. All these efforts helped you acquire 100 new customers. To determine CAC, you simply take the total amount spent across all initiatives divided by the total number of customers acquired by those same initiatives. In this example, our CAC would be equal to $100, meaning it costs us $100 in marketing spend to acquire one customer. The fifth key metric is customer lifetime value, or CLV. CLV, for short, helps us understand the value of an average customer over their lifetime. There are a number of ways to calculate CLV depending on your business model, but the simplest formula is to take the average order value minus the cost to acquire a customer times the number of repeat sales times the average retention time. For example, let's say you sell magazine subscriptions for $20 per month, and on average it costs you $15 to acquire a customer, with the average customer subscribing for 3 years. Our CLV formula would look like $20 minus 15 times 12 months times 3 years. Now, the ideal ratio of CLV to CAC is 3:1, and sometimes companies like Salesforce use 5:1. The point is, if your ratio is too low, your business is not sustainable. If it's too high, you're not investing enough in acquiring new customers. Thank you.